This segment of Panther Sports Talk is brought to you by Lincoln Savings Bank. At home in Iowa, at work for you.
Welcome back to Panther Sports Talk. Joined with UNI head wrestling coach Doug Schwab as his UNI Panthers won 2 MAC duels this past weekend, topping Ohio and Kent State. And coach, good performances in those duels. The guys were getting bonus points, which is something you're always looking for.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, getting pins. I think we had 5 pins in those 2 meets. So we hadn't really been pinning guys. So it was a good thing to see and get those bonus points. And obviously, it widens the gap in matches and in tournaments. If you want to win a tournament, you want to win a national tournament, you need to have bonus points. So it was good to see those guys do that. We've had a pretty tough stretch just as far as, you go a Friday, a Sunday, and you're traveling, and you go a Friday, a Sunday, you're traveling, and thought our guys responded well. So happy with, obviously, the growth that we're continuing to see out of these guys and the response that we're seeing.
Your team is 6-0 in MAC duels, but I know a lot is put on the MAC championships that you get to host this year coming up in the McLeod Center. Are you liking what you're seeing out of the guys in those one-on-one battles in MAC competition?
I mean, definitely. I think we're just continuing to get better. And that's kind of, I can tell you from the start of the season, it's just been a challenge to our guys. How much can we get better? Not so much focusing on the next event in front of us, but it's an opportunity, and we're going to see how much growth we can have from now until the end of the season. And I think if you've watched this team and you watched them at Virginia Tech and you watch them now, they're a different team. So that's exactly what you want. You want to see that growth. And we've done well in MAC duels so far. Have 2 left on our schedule: Buffalo and Missouri, which will be a big one. But I think we've responded well and kind of set ourselves to be seated high when that tournament comes and get ourselves a national tournament, and then be seated high in the national tournament also. So
a couple of individuals, Coach Jay Schwarm jumping in there at 125 with Dylan Peters out. 7 pins, second most on the team. What do you like about what Jay has brought this year?
He's a competitor. He goes out and doesn't matter who he's going to wrestle. He thinks he's going to win, or he's going to pin him, or he's going to put bonus points on. It's been a spark for our team because you do have a guy like Dylan out who, when you're looking at the start of the season, hey, we're going to have this guy and we're going to have him in there and he's a bonus point guy, but Schwarm's picked up right where he left off and is competing really well. Had a really tight match with a kid that's ranked in the top 15 against Ohio, and actually, if you watch the match, had a really good opportunity to win that match. So he's right there and he's getting better every time out. You can't ever replace this experience, and something happens, you just make the most of it, and that's what he's doing right now. So love having him being our spark plug at 125.
Drew Foster, 2 major decisions this past weekend. Does he kind of seem to be climbing to peak at the end of this season?
There's no doubt. If you looked where he was at the end of last year, he moved up from 74 to 84 and was seconds within going to the national tournament. I mean, the growth that he's had since then has been, it's really been incredible. I mean, you look at it and you're like, holy cow, kind of where'd this guy come from? And that's what we know, but kind of around the nation, I think people are like, wow, this guy, where'd this guy come from? And he's definitely going to make every single guy at 184 earn it. And 84 is a tough weight, but what he's put himself, he should be the number 1 seed at our conference tournament. Obviously we still got a couple duels left, but right now he is and is competing really well.
All right, we've got more coming up with UNI head wrestling coach Doug Schwab. We're going to be talking about Sunday's duel in the McLeod Center as Oklahoma comes to town. Stay tuned for Panther Sports Talk.